And welcome to the Renaissance Communications Incorporated News. That's presenting. My name is Emmanuel Sensei. In the headlines, amid the Ebola virus disease outbreak in the Democratic Republic of Congo and Uganda, the Liberian government, through the Ministry of Health, announces public health measures at all points of entry. At last, Ambassador Awad Sheikh apologizes to members of the House of Representatives for accusing lawmakers of receiving bribes from European interests. Shows lawmakers aim to refrain from making similar in the future. Physicians Association of Health Workers for not leaking what the association describes as false information about Ebola to the public. Of the front, police in the east of the Democratic Republic of Congo fire shoots in the air after crowds attempted to reclaim the body of loved ones who had died at a treatment center in two local journalists. The details of these, plus the news exposed are our package on this edition. We are powered by Orange Light Road, taking a break in the back. Welcome back. Thanks for rejoining us. George will set pace with the news bulletin. Good evening, George. Good evening, sensitive listeners. Good personal responsibilities. He made remarks by the presidential by the evangelical West Africa at the complex addressing clergymen, government officials, private sector representatives, and international partners. President Waka described the occasion as a moment of national reflection and a reminder that Liberia's future depends on both human efforts and divine guidance. The president highlighted ongoing progress, including improved roads, strong institutions, growing international confidence, and expanded economic opportunities. Election to a non-permanent seat on the United Nations Security Council as a new global trust in the country's democratic stability and leadership. The president urged religious communities to pray for wisdom for leaders, peace in communities, integrity in public service, and nationality. Ambassador at large, Sheikh Mustafa Kuyat has apologized to the House of Representatives. Comments in which he alleged accused lawmakers of receiving bribes from European interests in exchange for passing concession agreements. The ambassador appeared before the House alongside senior government officials, including the Minister of State for Presidential Affairs and representatives from the Ministry of Foreign. Hearing Ambassador Kuyat expressed regrets and assured lawmakers he will refrain from making similar statements in the future. Members of the House described the allegations as serious and emphasized the public issues to substantiate such claims. They further stressed that diplomats are expected to promote Liberia's image, strengthen international relations, and encourage investments. Following the apology, the National Party system introduced a motion requiring the ambassador to submit a formal written apology. Motion also calls for publication of four newspapers and track on OKFM. The government of Liberia and the National Public Health Institute of Liberia has enhanced Ebola virus disease public health measures at all points of entry following the rapid spread of the outbreak in the Democratic Republic of Congo and Uganda. In line with international health regulations, the government on May 25 issued travel advisory aimed at strengthening surveillance and preventing possible importation of the virus into Liberia. According to the advisory, all travelers arriving from or transiting from that's true the DRC or Uganda be required to truthfully complete travel surveillance form either on hold or upon for Liberia. The government also announced that health screening measures, including body temperatures, tests will be conducted on all travelers at airports, laying borders, crossing points, ports across the country. Persons showing signs or symptoms consistent with virus or any infectious disease will
managed in accordance with the National Point of Entry Standard Operating Procedures. Authorities for disclose that others receive health information in papers to self-monitor for symptoms of Ebola or other infectious diseases. Members of the public are encouraged to report symptoms to the nearest health facility or the toll-free number for assistance. The president of the Liberia has strongly against health records for allegedly the associating describes as false information or to the public. Opposition President Theophilus also criticized the government for involving the Liberian nationalists into the matter for further investigation. In an interview with reporters, Fire said Nurse Fola Bidel should instead have been referred to a professional nursing body for allegedly violating the code of conduct of investigation. According to national conduct, jurisdiction of regulatory institutions such as medical and dental of nurses of Mines and Energy is proposing the establishment of a national task force to combat the Liberia's mining sector. Their minister, Gbarntolmah, said the task force would be of justice, the Liberia Immigration Service, the close of mining company, Walu General Hospital Medical Director Dr. Lu Kudu Sunday's attackers demanded the bodies of two people be given to their families. He told the Associated Press news agency that the was on general alert with sensitive bulletin. Can increase the volume.
Many thanks to George Obuwe, who brought for us the news bulletin. Is a regular feature here on News Desk. One of our top stories here, if you're just joining us, Applause Ambassador at Large, Sheikh Kuyate apologizes to members of the House of Representatives for accusing lawmakers of receiving bribes for human interest. Shows lawmakers in statements in the future. The issue of health and health international health regulations, the HR 2005, the government of May on May 25, 2026, issued an immediate EVD travel aimed at strengthening surveillance and preventing the possible impact into Liberia. According to the advisory, all travelers arriving from or transiting through the DRC or Uganda will be required to truthfully complete a traveler's surveillance from either on board or upon arrival in Liberia. Ambassador at Large, Sheikh Al Mustafa Kuyate, has apologized to the House of Representatives for comments in which he allegedly accused lawmakers of receiving bribes from European interests in exchange for passing concession agreements. The ambassador appeared before the House alongside senior government officials, including the Minister of State for Presidential Affairs and representatives from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. During the hearing, Ambassador Kuyate expressed regret and assured lawmakers he could refrain from making similar statements in the future. Members of the House described the allegations as serious and emphasized the need for public officials to substantiate the that diplomats are expected to promote Liberia's image, strengthen and encourage investment. Policy Representative Dixon Sibo of Montserrat County, District 16, introduced during the about made The president of the Physicians Association of Liberia has strongly condemned health workers for allegedly leaking what the association described as false information about Ebola to the association. President Theophilus Faya also criticized the government for involving the Liberia National Police in the matter for further investigation. Speaking in an interview with reporter, Faya said nurse Paula Bidel should instead have been referred to a professional nursing body for allegedly violating the code of conduct of the nursing profession. The Minister of Mines and Energy is proposing a national about illicit activities in mines. Minister Matanika include the Ministry of Justice, the Liberia Immigration Liberia. He made the disclosure shortly after ordering the closure of the AB mining company for alleged and failure to comply with money regulations. The Liberia Standards Authority has convened a technical meeting with cities In response, the United Party National Chairman Reverend Luther Tapper welcomed the lawmakers' decision and assured them of the party's willingness to collaborate.
Just 2.5 years, I'm very excited that there are still conscious minded Liberians who can see clearly that President Washington has gone and beyond into and the Liberian people that have been taken around the president and God in such a short time. Even though the opposition is trying to benefit the decrease of sight. It's a clear indication that people are taking of the spirit of the government of the government. I will show you as the chairman of the ruling party when it is something. One thing for the nine, that the unity party will work with you. That is strongly we will send to you all of the ways of God. We are now responsible for our party to work with activities that political resolutions. We are sure that the leadership of the unity party and all of the unity party president, we will work with you with social like you will make the rest of all of this.
Like to benefit from a new European Union funded initiative focused on peace building and inclusive governance. The Peace Gen Lidera project will run for 3 years from January 2026 to January 2028. The program manager for Peace Gen, Comfort Visa, has been providing an overview of the project.
And then we have the National Young People Council of Nigeria. We have ACO, the Association of Women Lawyers of Nigeria, and we have PIA, People General Association of Women. Each project is working to empower women and young people as central actors in this project in Nigeria. There is a 6-month initiative for 3 years, and we are going to be focusing our intervention on key issues in African building. We're going to be focusing on building the capacity of more people again with tailor training, mentorship, leadership, training, etc. in the counties that we are working. Also, the other pillar is around a transitional justice, where we are going to be supporting awareness, engagement around accountability, reconciliation, and healing.
Speaking to the launch, Esther Davis emphasized the importance of empowering women and young people to be central to Liberia's peace and governance processes.
The role of the police is something that the European people emphasize. We know the continuous engagement of our migrants who choosing a we and a song to ensure that we join this peace. The patient project women like the peace and democratic journey while country continues to join young people continue to face growing frustration into all departments and social participation, trauma, and inadequate opportunities to meaningful contribution to life development and
Also speaking at the event, Councillor Jalabaku called on young people to begin preparing for leadership roles ahead of the 2029 elections.
you know,
Journalist and the founder of the Torgbean Educational Foundation, Gbarntolmah, highlighted the importance of education in Liberia through the establishment of the Torgbean School of Professional Journalism, institution aimed at equipping aspiring journalists with the necessary skills to excel in the media industry. Speaking with our reporter on Monday, Ghana explains that Torgbean Educational Foundation is a legally recognized institution dedicated to contributing to nation building through education and vocational training.
Torgbean Educational Foundation is a legally registered institution in Liberia that is interested in showing that we can help contribute to nation building by helping through the education. Torgbean is basically involved into vocational as to important aspect that
three clean sheets and considered threats. According to Liberia's update last week, they recorded another clean sheet in Ikorodu City's Nigeria Federation Cup round-up over Akambi. Liberian withdrew Albert Cover and Mark Gibson suffered relegation with Nigerian side Remo Stars on Sunday after a 1-all draw against Bengal. Just last season, the club was crowned Nigerian champions for the first time in their history. Gibson made 7 appearances without a start after joining on a 2-year contract last August, while Cover, who arrived in January, made 16 starts in 70 matches and contributed 1 goal and 1 assist. South Africa's Mamelodi Sundowns won their second African Champions League title as a 1-1 draw away against AS proved enough to clinch a 2-1 aggregate victory in the final. Sundowns took a 1-0 lead into the second leg in Rabat thanks to Aubrey Modiba's stroke last Sunday, but Mohamed Juma leveled the tie 5 minutes before halftime for the penalty spot after Ivan Lunga had tied Rida's team with away goals so used in the African Champions League. The midfielders struck crucially led AS Fan leading 2 more goals to lift the field. Hosts had their hopes in the 77th minute after being awarded a penalty, yet Sundowns goalkeeper Williams a 10 from 12 yards. The final euros 4.49 million in cash money. Booking a place at a 20,000
From the Passional Life, that's how I would like to join the curtains on this evening news events presentation. Before we go, data stories at top of the edition. Amid the Ebola virus disease outbreak in the Democratic Republic of Congo and Uganda, the Liberian government, through the Ministry of Health, announces public health measures at all points of entry. At least, at long last, Ambassador at Large Sheikh apologizes to members of the House of Representatives for accusing lawmakers of receiving bribes from European interests. Assures lawmakers could refrain from making similar statements in the future. Physicians Association of Liberia condemns health workers for allegedly leaking what the association describes as false information about Ebola to the public. And away from Liberia, police in the east of the Democratic Republic of Congo fired shots in the air after angry crowds attempted to reclaim the bodies of loved ones who had died at an Ebola treatment center in Mogwalu. 2 local journalists told the BBC. Thanks to George Hooper for us the news bulletin. Daniel Dacia for control to publish the sound. Myean Torgbean being behind the cameras. My name is Emmanuel Sensi. We are powered by Orange Liberia. Thanks for listening.